Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Today, short video with the RTI Prophet II, shooting slugs and pellets to compare the performance G-Max number 7, G-Max number 8, knockouts and King Heavy at 100 meters. I'll be recording also with the ATN scope, so you'll see the results soon. So here we are, back from the shooting range. Probably because of me, but I'm not sure, I shot the gun with the cocking lever still back after reloading a magazine, and after that the gun started leaking. It stopped leaking at about 100 bars. So now I'm gonna take it apart. First thing to do is bleed the gun. So there's a nice hole here. I have some tools and I'm gonna take it apart and record each step. So the first step, to take out the hammer spring screw and hammer spring and the screws of the buttstock. So as next step, I remove these metal plates very easy with these small screws. One of them is smaller on the side with the 7 screws. On the other side there are 6 screws. Nicely you can see the trigger mechanism. So just pull it out and put it back in with the spring. It's easy. I need to remove this block, so I need to remove the shroud. Also took off the bottle. It's here. You can just unscrew it. So next up is the shroud. To take off the shroud, you need to loosen these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws, and then you can just screw off counterclockwise the shroud. Now the barrel has to come off. It's a very nice barrel, RTI logo. There's a big screw here, you have to take it out, then you can take out the barrel. But then the only thing holding everything together is the linkage for the cocking mechanism, the pressure tube, and on the other side the trigger mechanism. So I'll first have to find out how to take this one out. So by removing this screw, it's quite tight, you can rotate this short rod like this, and then you can remove this part. So just removing the screw from this end wasn't enough. This short rod cannot be rotated far enough in to loosen this part. So you also need to remove that screw, which is here. And then you can rotate the complete rod. And then you can take off this part. And then if you also unscrew the trigger linkage on the other side, you can rotate the block that's also screwed in, and then the black block comes off. So when the block is screwed off, this valve comes out of the block. Consists of a tube with a spring and an O-ring inside, and a valve stem with a small hole and a small hole on this side. So that's how the pressure assisted valve works. air is let between this piece and the plenum. So if you look inside, hold on. If you look inside, you can see a opening in a circle, shiny. There's a hole over there that leads to the plenum here, and this piece is coming against the metal part just before the plenum hole, and this is going deeper in and sealing off the air. When the hammer hits this piece, air is let through and pressure is going into the hole, out of this hole, and then pushing back in the valve stem and the seal. This piece can also be screwed apart. There's a small O-ring in between. I'm not sure what is causing the leak. Maybe the valve seal is not really good enough anymore. I'll polish that and see what happens. When you screw it back together, the block can be screwed in all the way, and it aligns nicely with the rest of the gun. This piece, first you screw in that one all the way to the end, and then you have to check that when you move the pellet pusher forward, that there's a small gap like this. I don't think it's that critical, because in the end the pusher is behind the blocking here, so yeah, it should be okay. So I took the gun apart quite some times. Not sure in the end what fixed it, but probably this ring or that ring in the valve was the problem. But I didn't put enough air in to stop the main valve here from leaking. So in the end, when I put more air in and I fired the gun one time, then everything stopped leaking. Although I already cocked the gun to be sure the hammer didn't push the valve stem. Anyway, so this small ring, 4 times 1 millimeter, is between the valve seal and the valve screw, and this ring 5.5 times 1.5 is for the pressure assisted valve mechanism. So now it's time to